Now that we have Snap Creator installed, the next thing we need to do is log on to the GUI interface. Do this by opening up your favorite web browser and typing in the server name or IP address along with the port number selected during the installation. Default, this is 8080. Then log in using the credentials that you supplied during the install. This is the Snap Creator GUI. First time you log in, there's not a whole lot to see. We have a navigation pane on the left and a couple things around the top bar that I want to draw your attention to, including the Help button, which has About, which shows you the version of Snap Creator that you're currently running, and Resources. The Resources tab opens up links to documentation, technical reports, videos, and links to community sites and other places to get help and support about Snap Creator. Any link that you click on opens up a new browser tab. Click OK to close. Top bar also tells you that you're logged in as, in this case, the admin user, and gives you the option to log out. First time you log into Snap Creator, it's going to look much like this screen does here, and that this white space in the middle is just that, all white space. The first thing that we need to do is add a backup profile or profiles. These are essentially folders that we use to organize configuration files. Each backup profile can contain multiple configuration files. You can organize this in any way that you like, but I tend to use it with the idea of applications in mind. So maybe I would create a backup profile for DB2, and within that I would store the configuration files for all of my DB2 servers, one for each server. Same thing with Domino, and maybe Oracle. So now that we have our backup profiles created, the next thing we need to do is create a configuration file. We do this by right-clicking on a profile, which gives you options such as delete the profile, rename the profile, upload an existing configuration to the profile, or create a new configuration, which is what we're going to do now. This starts our Snap Creator Framework configuration wizard. First thing we're going to do is name our configuration file. This is going to be something easy for you to understand when you look at the name. So I'm going to name it the name of my Domino server that I'll be backing up as part of this configuration file. That name is Tampico. The next screen allows us to select the type of plugin that we want to use. Plugin types include community plugins. These are plugins that are available for use on our NetApp community site, but are not supported by NetApp support. Virtualization plugins such as vCloud Director, vSphere, KVM, and Citrix Zen. And then application plugins. Examples of application plugins are DB2, Domino, MaxDB, MySQL, Oracle, Sybase, and we also have plugins for a couple of our Snap Managers, Snap Manager for Exchange and Snap Manager for SQL. I selected this as part of the Domino profile, so I'm going to select the Lotus Domino plugin. Depending on what plugin you select, the next screen will be slightly different. This screen prompts you for parameters very specific to the plugin that was selected. As you're using Snap Creator, you can hover over any of the parameter fields and it will give you helpful tooltips about what kind of information is expected and oftentimes examples of what the completed field should look like. When you've completed entering your plugin parameters, click Next. If you're using an agent, enter the IP address or host name in this slot, as well as the port number that the agent is running on. And the agent timeout is how long the agent communication stays alive. Default is 60 seconds, but certain plugins require this to be longer. You can click the Test Agent Connection button. That will reach out to the agent and make sure that it is communicating on the selected port. Agent is running, click OK, and then click Next to continue. Select the communication with the storage system. That can be either HTTP over port 80 or HTTPS over port 443. Click Next, and enter the logon credentials for your storage system. Then click Next. This will show you a list of all of the volumes available on that storage system. Locate the volume that you want to capture as part of your snapshot, and then you can drag and drop. You can also select the volume or multiple volumes by using the Shift or Control keys, and then click the arrow key to send it over. If you happen to capture a volume that you don't want, simply send it back. When you're done, click Save. This will return you to the credentials window, and you can confirm that these settings are correct. You can also add additional controllers if needed. Click Next to continue. You need to provide a name for your snapshot. This is often the same as the configuration name. Select a policy. Examples are hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. Choose a policy retention and a policy retention age. And then for the Domino plugin, I'm going to change Ignore Application Errors to Yes. Click Next to continue. Snap Creator can also update a Snap Mirror or Snap Vault relationship by simply selecting the box and then enter the necessary information. And we can also integrate with Operations Manager or Protection Manager. Click Next to continue. Look over your summary and make sure the information is correct, and then click Finish. And here's our new configuration file. Simply click it, and it will open in the Configuration Content pane. If any changes need to be made to the configuration file, you can make them at this point. So if we want to change our timeout to a higher value, you can do that, and then simply click Save. It is a best practice to go ahead and reload the configuration after saving any changes to it. Once your configuration is saved, you can go ahead and test your configuration by taking a snapshot. You do this by clicking the Actions button, and this gives you a list of all of the actions available with that configuration file. I'm going to select Snapshot. I'm going to select my daily policy. I can also optionally add user-defined variables, use a global configuration, or add some additional add or override parameters. We're not going to do any of that right now. We'll simply click OK. Make this console window a little larger. This console window shows you output information as Snap Creator is running. This is a small level of information just to let you know the basics of what Snap Creator is doing and whether or not it completes successfully. So as you can see on the screen, we're performing any kind of pre-application quiesce, and then our application quiesce. In this case, Domino, we're quiescing databases, no errors encountered, quiesce finished successfully. Going to reach out to the storage system, gather auto support information, get information about the different volumes that we selected, create our snapshot, perform any kind of pre-application unquiesce steps, then actually unquiesce the application, finish successfully. Any kind of post-transfer commands, running snapshot delete, post commands, archive commands, and then finally, Snap Creator Framework finished successfully.